Oh, you're welcome back once again to another lesson, and this lesson is to be the 9th lesson. So in this lesson, we are going to code the exercise form and move on with the rest of the code. So first of all, let's select the picture box here, then click on the small arrow here, then the size mode, let's change to stretch image. Okay, so let's check the namings too, so that we don't find something. So this one is picture box 1, then this button here is TST image number and TST image name. Okay, so these two tabs, or these two text box, the visibility should always be false, because we are not going to show them on the screen, but we are going to use to hold a value that will work for us. So this button is also written answer B, written answer A, answer C, then answer D. This one will be our back. There's the back button, then the sound. So first of all, we are going to deal with the sound button. So as usual, we are going to copy for one of the forms, then come and paste it here, because I've already explained how the code is. So the FIM dashboard, okay, no, this not, it won't show dashboard, it will rather show the dashboard. Let me see. Okay, yeah, it will be the dashboard rather. So it is correct. So let's use the dashboard. Okay, FIM dashboard will show the mid.height. Okay, so after that, then we will take that of the speaker. So the speaker on, the speaker off. So you copy from here, then you go and paste. So let's double click on this area here, or let's just delete this one, then paste. Okay, so we are done with the sound and the back button. Now the next thing we're going to do is the actual form. So this is what we are going to do. We want an event, or want something to the code to run when this form loads, so this form opens. So this is what we are going to double click on any empty space on the form. So let's double click on it, then you go to the coding screen. So we are going to enter some values, but one thing you must note here is that you see that when we started, when we did the design, we created two text box here. One text box will cater for the number, so we are going to use random numbers. We are going to display random numbers here, so that each number will represent a picture. So when the form loads and the picture, the number is here, so let's say number 2 is here, we are going to associate number 2 to a picture, and that picture will be displayed here, and its questions or its answers, possible answers, will also be displayed here. Then this same picture here, its name will be here, so we are going to use this name as an argument to display this, or to check for our answers. With this button, with this text box will check for our answer. This one also will help us to display the image. So that is it. So there are some instances where we hide text boxes in our designs. So that's the reason why we are going to hide this. Okay, so let's go straight to our form again, our design, our coding screen again. Now we are going to use a random function, and before that we need to declare a variable. So we are going to declare a variable as dim I random number. Random number. So with this name, as I said, it's a variable, so you can use your own name. But for the sake of this training, I prefer you to use the namings I'm using in this folder, because if in case I post or I send you the source code, you can just copy and paste them into your system and it will work for you perfectly. So we are going to declare a random number as integer, that's as numbers. We are going to deal with numbers, even though we are developing a system for English, but we need numbers for something. So we also declare another variable to cater for the upper limit, that is the upper number that it should display. So upper, the I stand for integers, so yes, you can just add the I to it, or you can just ignore it. Okay, so I upper limit as integer. Good. Now this is the function. The function is randomize. That is the function. So we're going to randomize the numbers, and we need to set the upper limit. But note that when you are making numbers random, it starts from 0. So 0 to the highest limit. And note that we want to display just 26 pictures, because we learned or we use 26 pictures in our system, so we are going to display 26 pictures. So that means the upper limit should be 25. So let's give the value of the I upper limit. The value will be 25. So 0 to 25 will give us 26 pictures. Okay, so this is the code. We need to add this code too. So I random numbers is equal to round this function round, then you multiply it by the upper limit. So times, so with times use as there is times the I upper limit. Good. Upper limit to 25, so it will increase till get to 25. So when it's 25, it will not go further again, so it will be looping around between 0 and 25. Okay, so that is the upper limit. Okay, so now after that, then we need to do something again. So now you are going to declare an argument that if this thing happens, something should happen. But before that, you need to tell the random numbers where to display its numbers. So we are going to set it to tst image number dot text should be equal to the numbers that the random numbers will display. So I random numbers. So when the random numbers are displayed, or when the random numbers are generated, it will be found here. But when the form or when the system is running, you don't see it. It's working behind the scene. Okay, so let's continue. Now we are going to declare an argument that if this happen, this line of code or this output should be seen. So we are going to use the if function. So if the text image number which we have assigned the random numbers to dot text is equal to 0, then something should happen. So we are going to tell the system that if tst image number dot text is equal to 0, then something should happen. So what should happen? So every function, if function should have an end if function. So I bring your end if function. Okay, so can now then sorry. Okay, so now what should happen? Then the tst image name, which is this text box. This text box, this text box, it should have a value, and the value should be what? Apple, because the first picture we are associating the first number, which is 0, to Apple. So tst image name dot text should be equal to Apple. Don't forget it is a string, so it should be in a quote. It should be Apple. Then if it is Apple, then the picture should be displayed in the picture box. So you say picture box 1, that's the name you give to the picture box, dot image should be equal to my dot resource, that's where our pictures are, dot the name of that image, which is Apple. So this is the name of the image, Apple. Then hit on enter. Good. Then if the image is displayed, that means it should have an associate options so that you can select from, and these options should also have one of them equal to the text in this text box. So let's go there and then still add some code to it. So btn answer a dot text should be equal to okay, so let's give it Apple. Then btn answer b dot text should also be equal to, so for now let's say goat. Let's say goat. Then btn answer c dot text is equal to okay, let's use this word, violin. Then the last one is btn answer d dot text is equal to okay, let's use dog. Okay, so if the listing there, the text box, sorry, the load, when the load is, so the form is loaded, it should generate a random number, and then the random number that is generating, it should have the upper limit as 25. And when the number is generated, it should be placed in the TST image text box, that TST image number text box. So you need to create a condition that if the TST number, which is storing the random number, is equal to 0, then you have associated 0 to Apple. So the TST image should also be equal to Apple. Then the image box, as the picture box, should be equal to the picture of an apple. Then the answer tabs should also be displaying apple for the answer A, good for answer B, violin for answer C, then dog for answer D. So when you load the form, you see that these things will appear. Good. So we are going to do the same thing. We are going to associate these numbers to all the other pictures. So this is just for one, that's apple. So when it's 1, 0 is for apple, then 1 will be for what? For ball. 2 will be for cat, in that order, as we did the system, or as we added the pictures to the system. So we are going to use something we call else if. Else if. So with if function, every if function should have only one else in it. But with the else if, you can have as many else if as you want in your if function. And this argument is not just one. We are going to have about 26 arguments that it can fulfill. So you're going to use the else if function. So you're going to use the else if function 24 times. Then you end it with what? Else function. Then we are good to go. So I have coded. I have some test of numbers here. So test of code somewhere, and I want to paste it. Then I'll do the editing, or else the video will be long. So let me just copy that long code and then come and paste it here. But you don't worry, I will still give you the source code for all the code, the entire code. I'll give you the source code, so don't worry if you find it difficult to get the code. But I always say you can follow the lesson and understand the code. VB.NET is a simple programming language that you can just understand. Okay, so we ended here. That is for the first if. So the else if function is for the second image, which is what we assign 1 to it, and the image name should be ball. But the picture, we're not going to use this divisibility here. We are going to use picture box 1, then dot image. Then we create it to the name of the the image. So my resource dot the name. So this is what ball. So go to ball, then click on ball. Okay, for this one, so that the button A will be heart, button B will be ball, the button C will be ink, the button D will be table. So anytime you are dealing with the button, make sure it the TST image text has a representative in this, because it is going to use to check the answer. So let's do that for the rest of the others and then continue. Then the last one. So we see the last one, that's where we are going to use the else for it. So previously we were using the else if throughout, but the last one you need to end it with what? Else, not else if. So let me type this on and then explain it to you. So this one says okay, so with the else if, so it is telling that if all the codes, all the numbers, let's say from 0 to 24, none of them is displayed, but let's say 25 is displayed, that means the else, then the zebra should show and the picture should be a zebra with these answers. Okay, so then you end the if function. Good. So now let's continue. Before we run it, let's continue. Now we are now going to code these buttons. We're going to code these buttons. So this is what you are going to tell this for. So let's double click on it. So when you click on the button A, so it is telling that let me paste this code here, then let me, so I can explain it to you because of our time. It says when the button A is clicked, so that if button A dot text is equal to the txt image dot text, you see, so this code is telling that if the image that is displayed on this is equal to the image, the text, so if the text that is displayed here is equal to the text that is stored here, then the answer is correct. But if it is not equal to the number here, that means the answer is wrong. So that's what the code is telling us. So this is telling us that if it is equal to that number, then a message box should display as correct answer, and then the GB box, the message box star should be information that it should show that your answer is correct. Then all the controls, you clear every control, then you initialize the component, that's you initialize the form, you make the form to reload. So that's where we have the form exercise load, you need the form to reload again. But if it is not equal to that, the text in that text box, then the message box will show that message wrong answer, try again. You see, so this is the kind of code we are going to enter into the other button. So all we need is you just copy this code, then we go to the design view, double click on it, then you come and paste, then you change this one to B. So let's do the same thing for the others. So this one to double click on it, you paste it, you come and change this one to C. Then the last one is D, double click on it, then you come and paste, then you change it to D. Good. So now our system is now in shape. Our system is now in shape. So what is left now is for us to load, and see if there's no error. Okay, so now let's start our form. Let's change the starter form to exercise, and then let's start our form. Okay, so see, the moment you launch the form, one of the images will be displayed. So the image here is what? It's yellow. So let's check. Let's click on black and see the response. Good. It says wrong answer. I should try again. Let's click on white and see. Wrong answer. Now let's click on yellow. Correct answer. Then it will load everything and give me another image, which is what? Violin. So click on violin, correct answer. It will load again and give me another one. Okay, so that is the system that we're talking about. So pineapple is here. Okay, so let me let in one, say wrong answer. I'll click on pineapple, there's a correct answer, and it will reload everything for you. Good. So this is the system we have created, and in our next video I'm going to show you how to compile this. Then you can send it for, or you can send the file to somebody to install. That the executable file. So that is it. So that will be our last lesson. So thank you all and enjoy your day. Bye bye.